weary travelers, and welcome to the Come and Go Tavern. My name is Sheila Ornthalis, and I'll be your hostess this afternoon. Today's kitchen special is bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, and it looks like Erica is currently available for a full-service package, if you know what I mean. But if you see anything or anyone else on the menu that you're interested in, just let me know, and we'll see what we can do. Today will be my 46th Final Fantasy XIV stream, and last time we returned to our own time in the source, and reconnected with the rest of the Scions to share what we'd learned. We also saw the first cracks in the outer shell of the twins' father, that he may be realizing that his kids have actually already surpassed him, which was honestly great moments for me personally, because he needs to learn a little bit of humility. Anyway, I cannot wait to see how this is going to continue building tension towards the resolution. We should not be nearing the finale this time. We might get there next time. But anyway, as always, I will also be available for comments, questions, and concerns about the tavern, as well as regular old conversations, so don't be afraid to fill that chat with discussion. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. Had a couple of days in there where I was kind of feeling icky, but ended up getting some much needed rest out of it, for better or for worse, you know. Lost some time on a couple of projects, but we are moving very quickly towards some big stuff that's not big stuff for streaming, but big stuff for me, like personally in my actual life. That's going to be happening towards the end of July. Yeah, it's going to be nice. It's going to be fun. But anyway, not, like I said, not really much streaming news. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the game, why don't we? I still think that this song choice is a little bit too aggressive for this area. Behold, then, through thine efforts, word hath spread throughout Labyrinthos, verily to a greater number than we anticipated. Livingway doth gather more Loperids as we speak. I shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that new bonds of friendships may be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attentions, watch over them, I prithee. Here. Oh, there. Okay. I was like, I see it on both my mini-map and the actual map. Why are we not able to find the destination? Okay, there we go. You know, honestly, from them, I believe that.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
Twould behoove you to consult with Sleepingway. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
He is going to literally be asleep at the wheel, isn't he?
Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial.
I'm pretty sure it would have been harder to get him to stop answering questions, if I'm being honest.
Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
Oh, now you're here.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt. Master Louisoix, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget...
Oh, the music fades out. Have some serious
Oh
business.
there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Yeah, yes, I am.
What's actually got Urianger shook?
Vilfson and Blovida, Sharlayan's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbear's parents.
Oh no.
It hath been some time. Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Blovida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
I'll say, the nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Hug your mom.
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person.
Urianger, hug your mom.
No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know. We always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping, no matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while, arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
To see the boy, our daughter,
Really, cousin really got that master's degree, huh? Yeah.
Anyone grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger.
And Urianger's getting his... Yeah, right? Yeah, mood, Urianger.
I think I can feel her too.
Hi, Coleman.
The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
Oh, once again, this expansion has made me cry.
This moon breeder. She was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world. And its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
Oh, that was heavy. But it was such a good way of closing out his story. Well, I don't want to say closing out, but like finishing the loop of that story particularly, you know? Oh, that was beautiful. Well then, be assured I am fine. I am full glad to see them too, after so very long. Gladder still that was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, it would have been far harder had I faced them alone. That one, this one. Whew. And then we're going to do that and restore that. There we go. Thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the liberates. Not disposed to rest on their laurels, several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may have still come hither seeking counsel, and so shall I remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alice. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I could go myself, but we both know whose help she's less than I like to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later. Well, I think it's best that we leave them to reconnect no matter what anyway. Ooh, okay. I actually might need to do some side quest stuff because I'm running out of that's Hildebrand. down below. Nope. If only to open up some of this stuff. Oh, I'm gonna be weepy all day. Oh, goodness gracious. Whew. Okay, well, now that we are out and past that a little bit, hi Coleman, hi Moral Compass Gaming, how are you two doing today? Hope you're doing well. I'm clearly having an emotional roller coaster already. We're only, what, 20 minutes in? Fail Center well met, kind of joining the new and by mean old training, excellent. Full of interest is not enthusiastic. Classic Endwalker, head Patsy. Fair enough. Doing well, almost done cleaning your desk somewhat. I mean, you've heard that one before. As far as I know, it's one of the many pearls of wisdom. Access to lawns, an expansion of stone, sea, and sky. This training ground can be accessed. Speaking with soft-based bloke outside of Yilmar. Neat. That should take care of that. Alright, I can head back to where I was, pick up those 2 blue quests, and we'll be good to go. No, I'm actually doing a lot of cleaning myself because we're going to be doing some big rearrangements and upgrades to the tavern in late July. And so, like, I've had to pack up a whole bunch of books and kits and things like that. Mostly just getting space cleared, so and like putting stuff in safe areas, so that, you know, the construction and all that sort of fun stuff doesn't, you know, damage anything. It's not stream related. I don't think we're going to see any differences here on the stream, but it is giving me a chance to like actually like dust stuff off, choose what's going to be in storage long term versus what's going to be in short term, rearrange my books and all that sort of fun stuff. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's weird having empty shelves because I'm not a hoarder, but I'm definitely one of those people who enjoys being surrounded by interesting things. I tend to keep my spaces pretty clean, but they're not always necessarily, like, they're still cluttered. They still have stuff, you know? And so, like, it's weird having empty shelves. Search help first, please. I thought only researchers lived here. Oh, nice. Well, poor kid's been raised down here, which isn't necessarily a problem on its own, but the fact that there aren't any other kids. Poor kid. It's the person behind the thing, no, it's the person inside the thing. But yeah, no, oh no, maybe not. It's one of those weird situations where it's also an opportunity for me to replace some of the storage space that I have. And like, one of the big things is apparently IKEA discontinued their D12. So like, you know those like standard, like almost all glass containers that basically everybody in the model building community has been using for decades. The ones that have like the 4 glass walls, all the shelves are made of glass, and it just has like the faux wood top and bottom. Those are the ones that apparently IKEA has discontinued. And so like, I can't buy more of them once we make space for them. So I have to choose a different, yeah. So I'm gonna have to choose a different thing. I'm probably still gonna go with something from IKEA. Thankfully, there are, they have a new model now, which is different. Exactly. It's got like, and granted, the new one has like metal edging, which hopefully makes breakage and stuff like that less common, even though like they were using good quality glass before anyway. I like the Omar shelves just for capacity. Fair enough. Are Omars one of the closed ones or one of the open face ones? Because I know open face, that's what I thought. 0 dust protections. Yeah, I'm trying to go for something that has dust protection as well. So I'm probably going to upgrade to something that is like one of the more wardrobe sized ones. And that just because like that'll have better capacity as a single unit while still having like closed glass front doors. They did make a series of like $30 bookshelves, which were really easy to put together. I have one already. I might get more. Not for models, mind you, for for some of my books. I shouldn't say all. I have a whole fucking library. It's a whole thing. I have nice bookshelves in the library, but sometimes you need quick access to a few of your books, so you put a smaller, cheaper bookshelf somewhere. Okay, I've gotten those blue quests. Let's head down here. The kid is right over here. Maybe it's a quick resolution. Oh wow, he's been down here a while. I was thinking like little kid. Ah, beans. Oh Lord, here coming. With the chunky lad. But yeah, I definitely know that as part of these upgrades, I'm going to be getting a new desk, and I'm going to get one of the sit-stand desks with the little motor in it, because I can't be bothered to hand crank it, and it's worth the extra money for me to have just that little flippy switch. I'm going to also get a new office chair, probably going to pick up a couple of, like a couch. It'll be great. I do appreciate that the fabric genuinely looks soaked right now. Oh. Oh, okay, so I haven't been narrating this because it was just supposed to be a quick side quest, but Kiddo has discovered that the quality of the light here has changed. Wow. Okay, so this is going to be a more involved quest than I thought it was. Okay. Okay. If that's how you feel about it, sure. I mean, I was just going to do it out of the kindness of my heart, not because you're a kid, but just because, like, that's genuinely concerning, but okay. I was trying not to be mercenary about it. Oh, okay, that was the whole... Alright, I'm not gonna complain. We'll be back to deal with that at some point later, bud. But yeah, I've been making a list for myself of like new furniture I want to get to accommodate the new spaces. We're not building out necessarily, but we are making some modifications to like where walls are located and all that sort of fun stuff. Because we realized we weren't using part of our quarters as efficiently as we could. Like we're still going to keep. Okay, so we're still going to keep kind of this private area that we had set aside for like mass gatherings for the employees and essentially our extended family. I hate to use the whole like, oh, this company is like a family. I mean, like from like we're not that kind of company, but like genuinely, all the people I work with are my family. We all literally live in the same place, and yes, there is a financial thing there, but I also generally take care of everybody. Like it's a whole thing. So like we're still gonna have that space for bigger gatherings and celebrations that are private to us and not part of the business, but like for instance, the kids' playroom needs to be a little bit bigger. It was originally supposed to be like a whole nother bedroom, but it ended up being a playroom. Long story short, this is the whole thing. And so like we're gonna make that a little bit bigger and close off part of the kind of bigger gathering space as well into an additional room, because we haven't really needed it, you know. Anytime we've had gatherings, there's just been too much space, if that makes sense. So yeah, I figure, hey, well, let's make it a whole other room and make use of it, you know. What are you doing out here? I came out here looking for you. I know I don't mind if you help with boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure? Oh, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. No should be waiting for us when we arrive. See you there. Alrighty. Ah, neat. But yeah, other than that, we do have some renovations that are going to be happening in the guest room areas, specifically because we are looking at, again, not really expanding them, but like adjusting now that we have a better understanding of like what our accommodations need to be like. And so we're making some adjustments to space, adding some new amenities, that sort of a thing. And we might end up adding a couple of extra new rooms. Haven't finally fully decided on that one yet, because that would eat up space in our main courtyard, which I'm not a fan of because we do commonly host festivals and things out there, and we're already pretty packed in that case. So I'm leaning against adding more rooms, but I know that long term we're probably going to need more guest rooms. So it's we're gonna have to make that decision at some point, you know. I don't know. We may do an extension to the outer walls at some point and build out more that way, but we haven't quite reached that yet. Oh, you're helping with the crates. Wonderful. You can put that there with the others. You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved in this? Then I suppose I have Thanker to thank as well. You're wondering why we were tasked with bringing these boxes to Aporia. To begin with, so was I. It turns out that this is a base of operations of sorts. Those with final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You carried all of that at once? Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh, hush. They're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we're finished. Leopoldin is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance at least. Considering where we are, we might even learn something interesting. Okay, fair enough. Oh. We gotta visit the Chocobo Key. Don't need you now, but I wanted to make myself known. And then we gotta tune. Well, if the inside of my boots weren't full of water already. Gods, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We've brought samples from Shirley and Hamlet, Series 110. Units were by the entrance. Oh, thank you. I expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You're Fortunal's children's, aren't you? Alphino and Alice, at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I take it. Right. I've been friends with your parents since our days at the studium. I remember you when you were yay high, waddling hither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we met. It's good to see you again. Building your father's notice, no less. You knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Pray, spare no detail. I should like nothing more than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork want for submission. We can help with that, in exchange for those sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Yes, tell us about the college parties. Very well then. There happen to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about each of you take one? Okay, thank you very much. You'll find a foreign representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. Kept her waiting too long. Never mind Alphino and Alice. I'm certain they will be back soon enough. Wait, you said the southernmost structure? You're not one of the scions of the 7th Dawn. I thought you were meant to be working on the Aether Burner. So, yes, but we're also helping elsewhere. Theopoldin's paperwork. I was beginning to worry he'd misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents to my hand at last. As for your other tasks, I keep this between you, but I sincerely hope you scions succeed. The Exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlayan has ever been a nation of the curious. It would be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth. Quick and efficient. I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered to elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning any moment.
The first
gross bug inside again.
Okay, did he let go of it, or does he still have a hold of it? What are we
It's in
dealing
a
with?
jar, but Lynn's looking at it like it's candy.
Of course she is. All right. I've paused this. I'll be with you in just a second. Alrighty, folks. We are going to take a quick commercial break. I am going to go make sure that my littlest one doesn't eat a bug. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Stand up, stretch, do all that good stuff, and I will see you then. All right? Okay. All right, what color is this one? Blue. I didn't even know bugs came in blue. Hang on a second. Okay, got the bug out of her hand, so like it's all good. Still need to deal with Garland, but I came back early because I hit a button that should have run the 3-minute ad, but I noticed that it only ran a 30-second ad. So I guess we're gonna schwitz for like a few minutes before like the full 3-minute ad runs. Don't know why that happened, but you know, weirdness is weird. So I guess I'll just continue with the narration until I'm able to run that full-blown ad in about 3 minutes. So we return with not a scrap of paperwork remaining on our persons, you will note. You both have my thanks and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe you struggled out of your swaddling clothes, and that is quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents we'd asked here to reiterate. Of course. I've known your father for so long, I must have something. Well, as you know, part of Lila Lavalier name games garners such respect in Charlene as your family's storied history. You too can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard the Numkrep's Hope, a lineage few can claim. Never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation. It was simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. His why of the Numkrep's pronouncement, renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. It's ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, Archon Louis Sois looked not to Numkrep's words, but his deeds. He asserted in defiance of his peers that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations, that led to him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to his doom. There will ever be conflict, and calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. You remember his words well. Indeed, Archon Louis Sois lived that personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, with just under a minute. Charlene or no? No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet Fortuneau could not reconcile Louisoix's deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers, a philosophy in which he believed so fervently made a pariah of his father. Fortuneau agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. God's father. Son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Okay, so we're going to take another crack at this ad break. Be back soon, folks. we are properly back. Gods no, for she knows a cranky old goat, so I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet even so, you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, and that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you two were born. Barely recognizable, he was, with a kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen him since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course, no matter who or what opposes him. Profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you'll agree. I'll say, thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. Make sure those specimens you brought make it to their proper places, where the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Thanks. Hello, you three. Raha! Surely Coco hasn't driven you out of the forge already. Well, for better or for worse, no. However, he has sent me a task that requires more than a single pair of my hands. Well, my single pair of hands. And here you are. I use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alice and I have prior commitments. We've delayed too long as it is. Well, I just got thrown under a bus. What about you then? Can you spare the time? Sure. Perfect. This shouldn't take long. Let's see. In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Cuckold wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames of Cuckold's forge and to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of ether being funneled to his furnaces. Flow of fire aspect to ether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I had borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive. Okay, that's what those areas are. They're elemental reactors. This is the part where we part then. We'll see you in Charlene Hamlet once the adamantite arrives, if not before. This way then. So I don't remember if it was last time or the time before that, but we kept walking past like those places where like there was a particular concentration of a particular type of ether, and it was like streaming towards the sky in various colors. And I wondered what those were. Ooh, you are gorgeous. Like, don't get me wrong, the jellyfish ladies are really pretty too, but like, for some reason, just the effectiveness of the camouflage and how that texturing works on the definitely not Ents. Really particularly nice here. The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire ether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water aspected ether will issue the vent at the top. I expect this to attract at least a few elementals. which we would both rather not be drawn into the reactor itself. Trust me. Can I ask that you put down any that draw too near? They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Sure thing. Wait here if you would. Ooh! There's a, ether doobly-doo. Hang on just a second, just to make sure that I don't forget it later. Go grab that now. I just tried to double jump. I've been playing too much Star Wars Jedi Survivor recently. Oh. Sorry, elementals. Did everything go smoothly out here? Mm-hmm. There's only about 6 elementals. I thought as much. No major complications to speak of inside either. The water ether appears to be venting properly. Expect Kokol will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another matter I thought I'd discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet you, and only you, have been to Alpis. As we've established, mind adamantite is a product of Alag, of the Empire's twilight years in fact. The material which saw much use as part of Alagan's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world. Dalamud, of course, being the most prominent. Those who would push further, expand Alag's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above. Perhaps the greatest was this infamous technologist, Amon. Well, we fought him, or at least a shade of him, in some of the... Amon wanted to travel the Sea of Stars. He did. He must have had his reasons, however. There's no evidence to suggest that he retained any memories of his life as an agent. He only joined the Asians once the Empire was all but dust, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls like mine have a personality, so to speak? Natural disposition towards which they are inclined. We know with relative certainty it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Alag that moved Amon to resurrect Emperor Zandi. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. By facilitating Zandi's return, Amon provided these languid souls with the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, Zandi not been convinced by his own death that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be a means to the same end. Still people with a new purpose. Oh, goodness gracious. Like Hermes before him, Amon was appalled by those around him, how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. Both of them sought that meaning, that hope in distant stars. Such is my theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment. And yet, well, to reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to travel to the ends of creation and beyond, promise of hope everlasting. That much I do understand. But enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Kokol is getting on? And I have to be very careful every time I say that man's name. Oh my goodness. Here's the world. Oh. Oh wow, really? Okay. Then I suppose let's go explore area between here and there. Logisticon Gamma. There is nobody here. No, thank you. Hello there. I was wondering if there were any ether currents in this area, and I happened to look around at just the right moment. Love it when that happens. I can feel those flames ablazing from here. Glad you found someone capable, Graha. But there's not much left for you lot to do. So you can conjure up that refined adamantite any faster. I do trust you to deliver on your promise. I do. Only... I hate waiting. I want that adamantite and I want it now. Well, we share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime? I wish. This sitting about's unbearable. Maybe the Forum frowns on recreational explosions. Well, so long as they can't prove it was premeditated. Gone. I've got mistakes to make. Huh. In that case, I suppose I should go and return the key to the reactor. One more look to make sure that nothing has gone wrong, unintentionally or otherwise. Certain there are better uses of your time, however. I'll rejoin you in Charlene Hamlet soon. We're just gonna go ahead and teleport there. You don't have the time to walk. My compatriots are bound to turn up sooner or later. Await your companions. Yes. Oh, an actual other player. Wild.
All set, I take it?
As set as can be. Unless y'all have more
Finished what we
work.
could. Delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals. Trivial tasks as they may be.
Same.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
Okay.
Our consultations with the Loperites, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have, for the most part, been allayed. Though some insist on making adjustments to the very end.
Yeah, that's
For their
researchers,
part,
honestly.
Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
There.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphano, are you there? It's me, Cryo. Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbor at once.
Ooh, okay.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
So, I understand that, like, the normal turn of things is that, like, we're hearing these languages that are not really ours in our language. But, like, Speak of the Devil is such an American, United Statesy idiom.
Commotion has broken out in Scholars Harbor. Your presence is requested with all speed.
Now, where might this delivery be?
A lot of people here. Oh, oh, we got a lot. 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 Oh my goodness.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
Yes, we can.
By the 12! Surely, these can't all be.
Hey yo, we got the pirates.
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air.
Listen, we told them the end of the world was coming. These are... Yeah, everybody hopped too.
And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalaman shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. Furthermore, it was my contacts that enabled us to enlist the cooperation of the Sky Pirates.
Girls, girls, you're both pretty.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due. You did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Fight, fight, fight. Peace, peace, peace.
My, what a grand welcome party. Hancock and Saraban. We come bearing relics both sacred and elegant, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance.
I myself have
As if Ham Sandwich wasn't, like, already convinced that his kids are really important in the world. He sure will be now.
Bade me deliver it on behalf of the Blue with
east. Fearing I could not swim here with the necessary speed, however, I thought to beg our Confederate allies for aid. To my delight, Hancock was already preparing for departure at the self-same port, and
There
had
it is.
space for additional cargo.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time. Fortunately, our Majestic associates have been more than helpful. 'Tis an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell me.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenar Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability. And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
Oh.
We funded the venture. When?
Don't let them
Money, 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 money.
Keeper knows a thing or two about spending.
Ah, there she is.
When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount.
I love you, Tataru.
We also have the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding
Is
of the
it their
Science
mom?
Fair. We even had coffers to fill.
It is.
Millions.
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full.
Now that is how you be a rich person.
Take them with us on your teeny tiny toy boat, now can we? It would be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent. Waste not.
Oh no, there's two of them.
However did you manage so much in so short a time, though? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways?
Mm-hmm.
Erenville, you were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryo after we parted ways in Labyrinthos. She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlotte. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters, though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed.
This is what happens when you put so much goodwill out into the world.
To make a long story short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
Wonderful. There they are.
What's this about a ship that can fly to the moon?
Sid would have been personally insulted.
The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon.
Yep, and you're gonna plot yourself when you find out the moon can fly independently on its own.
Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship.
As you like us not suspect, we've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud Shard. I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kryle's message. So few scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Littleshire's treasure hunters, not least among them.
Ah.
I know. How the Gobbyflock fought. Slowfix's gratitude for the safe return of his daughter has not waned, and he gathered his kin to our side with an astounding quickness.
Again, you put goodness out into the world,
The clash
and it
between
comes
them
back around.
and the Allegan defences was a sight to behold. I wager even you would have been impressed by the magnitude of the gobby booms.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razat-Han not have more pressing concerns?
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution.
He's not wrong.
That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better.
Read.
You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Sommer, and his journey across the great expanse.
Really want the baby Midgard Sommer to pop in.
His resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent. Ajdaya's answer was silence, as ever. Tiamat and Chris-Velgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion. My sire, too, gave his assent. Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself.
That's fair.
Fuck me, this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again. Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no? 10, no? 14 bleeding percent.
Genuinely a huge increase in efficiency.
Think of how far we could go. What we could do with that much power. What we could blow up.
Sir, I need you to contain that portion.
If Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
Mm. Right, sir.
Yes, Father?
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship.
Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you. I beg you, share your struggles with me, as family.
He realized he can't protect them, and that they've been protecting him.
My fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst. 'Twas love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming, and a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisois openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool. Perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children.
I think he did.
But stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. His doing, when he perished at Cartano. As we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship.
Oh, they're going on that ship.
I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Yep.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
Hello?
Mom, have you seen Mr. Grumbles?
No, sweetie. Did you lose track of her?
Can you help me find her?
Sure thing, hon. Give me just a second to pause this.
And learned in our travels.
Alright, it is paused. Okay. To stop in the middle of that, but yeah, I need to go make sure a skunk doesn't end up in the wrong place. You have to trust your kids. You have to trust them to do the right thing, and remember to see with unclouded eyes the truth of what they're doing. I'm so glad that they're actually talking about this in game. That being said, I'm going to go make sure mine doesn't actually, like, lose track of a skunk and start scaring our customers. So, we'll be back in just a few minutes. I'm going to run a commercial while we're away. Stand up, stretch, refresh your drinks, all that good stuff, and we'll be right back. Okay? Okay. Alright, well, have you looked in the normal places, sweetie? if you remember earlier, I was talking about doing some rearranging. Well, Mr. Grumbles was sleeping on one of the empty shelves. Duh, of course, we would not look there initially, because why would we? It's a shelf. You know, skunks don't go on shelves, but here we are, you know. It is what it is. We found her. She's back in a happy place. It's all good. We found her a nice sunny spot in the library.
Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures. Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to?
Amelians.
Let me see why they're a good couple now.
Though I have wronged my children most gravely, I owe you an apology as well. I assumed that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger.
Yep, they've been a bad influence on us, actually.
Yours, in particular. I see now that said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them.
If we've finished loitering about the harbor, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of cargo. You have no small number of friends and admirers here after all.
Yeah, fair enough. Look at all of these friends and allies we've made as we've gone across our adventures. Lend us your strength.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
Sir, academics never change. We finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued us an invitation. As we agreed, he will reveal the means by which Heidelin may be contacted. We are to meet him at Aporia, and when we're ready, given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay. It transpires, however, that the forum's method for speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned. Most of those who arrived with the Adamantine have offered to stay and see that any remaining tasks are doing. The forum has already asked for my assistance in overseeing the process, so you needn't worry about a thing. Thank you, Tataru. We're off to Aporia then. Bye, Tataru. Him? I've already shown the others inside. We'll want to speak with Clairlane. She has the key to the lift, and can send you down after me. Okay. This feels like it would have been a good time to do one of those, like, not accompaniment quests, but like, it's not really a fetch quest, but like, you know, where they attach an NPC to us. Like, we could have had a cool conversation on the way in. From here we proceed to the heart of Labyrinthos. Its most closely guarded secret, Thomazine. It marks the beginning and end of our efforts. Once we delve to seek audience with the star, excuse me, and whence we will embark on our journey to the heavens. This way, if you please. Oh. And I'm out of water. Over to the fun drink. It is full of sugar and caffeine. Ooh. Ooh. That's a Phantasy Star Online ship. Don't lie to me. Bring you welcome to Thomazine. Direct your attention towards the center and behold the arc over which we have long labored. As you can see, 'twas designed as a medium-sized craft, better to reduce fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magics had been applied to its interior to ensure that the thrust-to-weight ratio does not place too great a limitation on its freight capacity. The ether burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but we shall reattach it soon enough. I received word that Coco and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fervor. They are sure to see it done. It was by their expertise that many a prior disaster was averted. If anything, I fear they will not afford us much time for speaking with Heidelin ere we finish. Point taken. Let us move on. Let's warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of our device, a treat with her is not a simple feat. I've done what I can to impress upon you the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared? Yes. We make for the lift at the center of this chamber. Come. Oh. While that is cute, I sure hope I can... Oh, can't apply glamour plates here. Yep, that was what I was afraid of. Oh, well. Yeah, that is straight up something I would expect out of Phantasy Star Online. Which is not a dig. I love that aesthetic. It's just wild to see it here, you know? As you all know, alongside our physical world exists an ethereal plane, what we refer to as the ethereal sea. Part of the star, the physical and ethereal are one and the same. Thus, the deeper we go, the easier it becomes to pass between said planes. We utilize this principle in constructing the anti-tower. Once more here in Thalmazine. No sooner did the Forum decide that an exodus from the star would be necessary than it began to work on this facility. The work culminated in a device that allowed us to peer deeper into the ethereal sea than ever before, in search of Heidelin's ever fainter echoes. The scope. You communicate with her through this device? For a time, yes, but since the 7th Umbral Calamity, it has been rare to hear even a whisper. If you wish to reach her, we must journey closer to the center of the star than we have ever dared, beyond the Itioscope. Even so, we make no guarantee that you will find her, nor of your safety, so deep in the ethereal sea. We understand, but if we are to deliver this world, we have no choice but to try. I know. I only wish we could do more than observe your progress from afar. The Itioscope's ocular lens, by which we may peer into the ethereal sea without placing ourselves at hazard, lies above us. Through it, we can watch and guide you. The swirling depths, there are pockets of ether so dense and turbulent that they can unravel one's soul. We determine that you are at risk of coming into contact with such a pocket. We will call you with teleportation magics. To that end, best if one familiar with the composition of your souls remained here to assist in assessing said risk. Otherwise, there is an increased probability that we will extract you far too early, too late. I mean, please allow me. Really, Kryl? Not upon this much, and in truth, I do not believe that I am fit to join you in the trials ahead. The events of the Tower of Babel drained me, yes. Even before that, your capabilities far outstripped my own. This is no time to have a weak link in our vanguard, no matter how much she may wish it to be or otherwise. I assist in the manner that Master Fortuno has laid out, however, may still be of use. You trusted me to do so? I can think of none I'd trust more. Compared to all that effort you put into keeping us alive while our souls were in the first, preventing us from dissolving into ether with a single exception ought to pose no challenge at all. And even if we did, I expect you would hunt us down and restore us to health somehow. You flatter me, but rest assured that I will be keeping a close eye on all of you. Oh, I wish I could glam that hat. There is one more thing. Those in ages past referred to the ethereal sea as the underworld, final resting place. In its embrace is memory washed away, leaving only the purity of one's soul. So we believe. Yet what of these memories? You think to ask what becomes of them, cast adrift on ethereal tides. Some theorize that they linger for some time, those associated with strong sentiment in particular. In those depths, memories of the departed may even coalesce around you, hatred or for love. Thus do I caution you to be wary, but also to have faith. Remember those who did gladly extend a hand to you. They may lift you up once more. Itioscope, excuse me. Now accessible. Ooh. Let's go. Oh, do we get to like... Oh, no, okay, not everybody. I was about to say, goodness gracious. Oh, we gotta bring the kids. You know, as much... Let's not bring him...
Stand ever ready.
Yeah, come on, Graha. I'm super glad that he was allowed to be in every class sort of guy, even after no longer being the leader of the towers. The Crystarium, I should say. Ooh. I don't know why that amused me so much. Oh goodness, excuse me.
All seems in order with the lens, and I trust you can hear me.
Those things are pure malcontent, the residue of lives unfulfilled.
You cannot stop us.
Well, you can certainly try. Okay, nothing over there. Nice. Oh, hey, I'm actually level 90 in this dungeon. Fantastic. Oh. We really are pulling towards the end then.
Hold still.
Didn't think I would hit the level 90 stuff today, but here we are. This reminds me of Omega. Well, thank you, Louis Soir. I don't know if anybody else caught that. That was Louis Soir's staff who took form and provided us with the little bit of extra oomph we needed to finish that in a reasonable period. Wonder if we'll get that additional help. I'm doing my best to pay attention to what the twins are doing at any given moment.
Hold still.
They're going to be the best indicator of my safety as well. Ooh, I'm real glad I was paying attention there, though. Oh, so close.
You cannot stop us.
Nice.
Follow the flow of ether. It will guide you.
Ooh. Ah!
I'm losing you.
The Abyssal Plain. They're really going hard with this kind of reference to the Sea of Ether being an analog to an actual, like, ocean.
You cannot stop us!
Really appreciate how beautiful team managed to make all of these environments. Like, all of the environments in this game have always been absolutely gorgeous, but their artistry is at its tippy toppest at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's clear that the Final Fantasy XIV team has been allowed to actually grow and survive where so many other game dev teams are just recycled so often and so fast that there's no way for them to create something that is like a cohesive piece of teamwork. And it's so beautiful that these artists have actually been allowed to continue working with one another for such long extended periods of time and learn from one another and create consistently gorgeous areas, you know, the environments, characters, armor, everything. You know, it's just so nice. hard to commentate at times like these because not only am I focusing on the actual gameplay, but like I'm trying to take in as much of the world around me as I possibly can. And I'm also kind of I'm trying to remember who some of these people are, like Olivia being the lady outside our very first big major battle with the Garlemald, or the Garleans, I should say. Totten, the guy who always used double shields and met his tragic end because somebody wanted to conquer and happen. And said, damn everyone else. I will have my way. Ah. Neat. Well, I'm glad that gamble worked out, though. Because I was straight up just on the other side of the world, and I was like, well, I'm just going to do the opposite of what they do. Ow.
Hold still.
Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. Nice. Oop. Wow, I can't believe I actually managed to pull up enough to actually get a third crack at that full combo if I'd had the time. Well, Again, we're looking at some really intelligent asset reuse because none of these critters are new critters model-wise, but they are doing a good job of evoking the actual area that we need. Actually, I shouldn't even say model-wise. There are some model differences that are showing up. But it's more a question of, like, reusing the same kind of rig, you know? That thing that Square Enix seems to be a master at, you know?
Hold still.
Oh, I wish Reku was here to give us a talking to about exactly how that's done. Because it's one of those things that I can recognize it. I know just enough about, like, computer animation and stuff like that, that I can see that it's being done, but I don't have a full understanding of how it's done. You know what I mean? Like, I fully understand that it's a good way to increase efficiency, but I don't know all the ins and outs. Minfilia. Hi. Hello. Hello?
Hey, hun. Can I borrow you
hey.
for a second?
You can borrow me anytime you like, stud.
Ha,
Alright, I'll be with you in just a second. Let me finish up this fight, okay, sweetie? We will have to take a brief break in the middle of things, but I can't leave my NPCs hanging. So at the very least, I'm going to finish this up. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna hang out here. We're gonna go do a commercial break like normal. Just normal, should be only 5 minutes, but, you know, we'll see how this goes. We'll be back very soon, so stand up, walk around, do all that lovely stuff. We'll be back as soon as we can, be alright? Okie dokie. So, what is it that you need? Alrighty, we are back. Oh. I went the wrong direction with that. Ah well, it's fine. Hermes?
Is as far as you go. Oblivion beckons!
Come on, the Undying. Oh, buddy. You'd think after a while of people resisting and refusing to die, Ah, okay, I see. I wouldn't say that too loud, Alphino. He actually might be able to. Oh, okay, we're doing that. We're just summoning gods. Casually. Yeah, well. Now? Well, glad I didn't wipe us with that. That would have been embarrassing. Oh, oh, ow. Yeet. Well done. Okay, one try. Actually pretty rare. At least for me, anyway.
Lies! All lies!
No, you're...
Your dreams, your hopes, your futures, delusions and lies!
Nope. I think you've misunderstood what those words mean. Seriously, like, what's the one, like, can we... What is it, Prozac? Like, what's the major, like, the main, like, first line antidepressant? Oh. What world is this? Interesting.
My very essence begins to wane.
Isn't that what you wanted the whole time, though?
Sweet, sweet agony.
Leave this to her.
Boy, I sure wish I had my normal hat here.
Coup de grace. Good. Watching you struggle against the inevitable is bad comedy. Erase me from existence, soul and all.
Buddy, it gets better if you let it. You recall your days as Hermes.
How would you know that name? Then it was you. An Elpis. But them it suck. The final pieces fall into place. In my halcyon days, as the mortal Ammon, I was haunted by a dream. Night after night, the faceless multitude, the voiceless cries, shards of shattered memories.
Well, you did that to yourself. I don't think that that
The fog
memory
began to
changer
clear.
worked as well as you thought it did.
This was Elpis. And I was Hermes. Recurring though it was, I paid this dream little heed. It was only when I was granted the seat and memories of Fandaniel that I knew these visions to be true.
Interesting.
They were the memories of Hermes that he himself erased using the power of Kairos.
Okay.
Or so he thought. In his attempt to burn away the events of that fateful day, he succeeded only in searing them more deeply into his soul. My soul. Death failed to expunge them, no matter how many times it came. Rebirth after rebirth, from one Fandaniel to the next. I wonder, is Emet-Selch adrift somewhere in this ethereal sea? In defeat, finally remembering your time together in Elpis?
Sort of.
How it must gall him to be entrusted with knowledge of the final days, only to be rendered powerless to act upon it. So many lifetimes dedicated to restoring his beloved Amarok in blissful ignorance. Oh, folly.
Tragedy, more like it.
But make no mistake, my life as Hermes is not the reason I invited the world's end. I have lived. I have struggled. I have dredged the very depths of despair. And in the detritus of existence, I found the truth. I served a great ruler, powerful beyond measure. The world his dominion. Yet even he and his vast empire were destined to fall.
Yeah, time does that.
With oblivion. At the end of life's journey lies only death.
It's the cycle, bud. Quite frankly, you've gotten to come back so many times, it's kind of shocking.
Why live at all?
Have fun. Make friends.
We betray.
Make the world a better place.
We torment. We murder. We are wicked, spiteful creatures, without exception. If life is so sacred, so precious, why fill it with such misery?
Fear. We're scared.
Man wallows in a hell of his own making without purpose or meaning.
You did that.
To live is to suffer, and I would end that suffering by my own hand. It matters not if it flies in the face of all believed right and just. Death is the only solution. That is my truth, my answer to the question. And yet, even as the words pass my lips, I am filled with doubt.
Yeah, no kidding.
Has my search reached its end?
You look better without the mustache.
Was this the only way? After all these years, is this the answer I was hoping for?
lamentations of the damned. How it vexes me to see your conviction falter at the last. Fandango, still clinging to existence, I see. You, who champion death so fervently, unwilling to accept your own, refusing to be purified and swept into the sea of souls. As do I. We prisoners to men, watching as the world turns. Though unlike me, you will be spared the ignominy of having your corpse made a puppet, danced to another's tune.
Is that Arsahi?
How very astute. But let me be clear, I have not come to consort with the likes of you.
I mean, you do you, buddy.
Nor have I come to bemoan the state of the world following my untimely demise. In fact, I delight in mankind's downfall.
Fuck you too, bud.
Anguish it brings the savior of the savages. If I played some small part in the chaos, all the better. Not that I was in any position to resist. But to be made accomplice to the betrayal of Lord Xenos. I would die 1,000 deaths to exact my vengeance. Now you are at my mercy. I shall drag us both into oblivion, and you will never see the fulfillment of your magnum opus.
That's why is this guy such a prick.
Your desperate search for answers must start again.
Next time we will find the answer together.
Even here, even now.
Yeah.
You have every right to hate me. For the fool I was. For the monster I became.
Yeah, he's a jackass.
Beg forgiveness. The tale of Hermes, the man who knew so much, yet understood so little, ends here.
Kind of wild that this entire thing started. All of this cycle of cycles started because the ancients never figured out how to make antidepressants.
Don't try to follow me. I had more of you people than I could stomach in life. Never mind in death.
Well, fuck off, then.
Likewise. I pray we do not meet again.
Alphino is so much more polite than I am.
You had better hope not.
Excuse me, sir? Fucking excuse me? Cosmic depression is a little different. Okay, you know, ennui then, you know? Holy moly, are we gonna run into another commercial break? There is no cure for ennui, I think. I mean, a good cigarette. The love of a wonderful person. Playing a dope-ass game.
Brave travelers, I welcome you.
don't know. Now that is a Yoshitaka Amano ass design. Meet again, Minot.
I see. Without its journey unto Elpis. And now, the rivers of time converge.
Mm-hmm. Are you just gonna help us, or are we gonna have to kick your ass? Like, if we do, it's a formality thing. I get it.
Yet I would hear you speak your reasons all the same.
Yeah, you gotta allow us to close the loop, I suppose.
Deliver mankind from the final days. But is that really how it has to end? We do not wish to abandon this world. We want to protect the source and all of its shards.
Ow.
To flee is but one of two paths. The other leadeth to Meteon, far beyond the stars, where she doth chant creation's requiem. Her domain is formed of dynamis, pure, absolute. Where emotion and memory govern all, ether will avail you naught.
So are we just not gonna have access to, like, spells, or
Meteor
what?
have gathered the pain and despair of countless stars, and to go unprepared is to go unto your doom.
We'll beat her. We'll win. I swear it. Is what I might have said once. After everything I've seen, all the times I've succumbed to my own anger and fear. I can no longer pretend that courage and faith will be enough. But are we truly so powerless that our only choice is to flee?
Far from it, my child. Long ago, the inhabitants of myriad stars, many more prosperous than Atheris, sought to free their worlds from life's woes. Sorrow and anger, conflict and hostility, despair, and even death itself. But as Meteon reported, every attempt ended in failure.
Does mean we can't try.
Darkness abideth within every living being and can never be cast out.
So does light.
Neither reason nor faith can challenge this immutable truth. To live is to suffer.
Yeah?
And in suffering, find strength and purpose and hope. As you have done so many times before. Thou dost pursue an impossible dream, yet knowing this, you pursue it nevertheless. And thou hast learned to depend on others as they do thee. Thy yearning for the power to save the powerless hath ever driven thee to greater heights. Thou hast grown strong. Though those closest to thee no longer walketh by thy side, their love remaineth thy guiding light.
Oh my goodness, is this gonna game make me... Ugh.
For duty's sake,
Is this game going to make me cry for a second time in the same session?
yet thy heart hath never wavered, as thy companion thy pursuit of mysteries great. All thou believest is question.
Thank you very much.
Thy thirst for knowledge remaineth unquenched. The fires of hatred that once burned in thy heart burneth no more. From their ashes doth spring the light of love, warm and pure. As witness to black calamity, thou despaired at man's helplessness. Resolved, thou didst unite a distant world on the brink of collapse. And thou, my champion, when all did seem lost, thou never abandoned hope. For every trial and every foe that did bar thy way, thou hast proven equal to the challenge, drawing courage from the many bonds forged on thy journey. You have all known despair, and though the end approacheth, you walk on, heads held high. Therein lieth your power, the strength to silence the song of oblivion.
Then there is a means to confront her.
Yes, if you should prove yourselves worthy.
Yeah, that's what it always comes down to, doesn't it?
Hark!
Well, I got about 10 minutes before the next commercial break, so...
To the edge of the universe. Should you fail, there will be no second chance.
Yep, my character will be erased, and my ability to subscribe will be removed. Nah, it's fine.
Do you possess the fortitude to stand firm when all around you doth crumble? Do you possess the faith to vanquish despair itself?
I'm hoping I do.
Should you lack the strength to best a supreme deity, I cannot allow you to make the journey. You must leave this star and never return.
Valid.
Prepare yourselves.
Alright, let's see what we can do.
Prove ourselves worthy, eh? Sounds straightforward enough.
Aye, no room for confusion there.
In any case, we've come too far to back down now.
I am of the same mind. What power I have, I shall bring to bear.
The three of you seem to be forgetting who we're up against. It's not every day we battle a divine being of untold power. Well, not quite every day. Do try not to get underfoot. Needless to say, there'll be no margin for error.
Let us hold nothing back. For the people of this world and those
Yeah. She is both the most grounded and the sassiest out of everyone.
Alas, the question I posed to thee in Elpis hath remained unanswered these long years.
Yeah?
I would hear thy response, warrior of light. Shouldst thou emerge victorious?
The Mother Crystal is now accessible. During this quest, using the duty support system, you have the opportunity to take the trial party of science. Ooh, okay, good. Good. Are letting us use the NPCs for this. Okay. Just because this is going to be a real big thing, I'm going to go ahead and say we still got 12 minutes or so before the ad has to happen. But I'd hate to get interrupted in the middle of this fight, you know what I mean? Because this feels like it's going to be a big fight. So, I know that... no, trials usually go very quickly, though. No. I'm going to go ahead and do the commercial break now, okay, folks? So, we're going to do this early. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, alright? So, talk to you soon, and then we'll try and do this as a one-and-done thing, right? Trials around 10-ish minutes the first time. Okay, I have 12 minutes until I'm forced to do an ad read. I have my full snooze it. You know what? If you think that I can do this in 10 minutes, then we'll go ahead and give this a shot. I'll go ahead and hit snooze once now. So we've got 16 minutes until that, and I've still got 2 snoozes till then. So yeah, let's bring everyone. Let's do this. Divine Light Heidelin. Honestly, when I first started playing this game, this kind of fight was the furthest thing from my mind.
The last of my kind shall test thee. Come, prove thy worth.
Seriously though, very Amano design for Heidelin, and I love it to death. Right, folks.
Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate?
I hope so.
This will hurt.
Ow.
A change of arms. May the test continue. You now.
Ow. Ooh. No thanks. Thank you. Oh, come on! How was I supposed to know the wall was made of death? Okay, that felt cheap. That felt cheap.
Have you the strength of will
Like, that's a basic part of my kit. I hate it when I'm not allowed to use that. Like, jump in, jump out. That's the whole red mage thing, you know? Just feels bad. Guess I'm not allowed to bounce around. Spacing is a little important, but yeah. Like, I'm not sure that I understand how spacing is working here, because, like, I've been knocked down a couple of times. Now? Oh, come on! I literally can't use my backstep. Like, I was at the center of the arena and it took me all the way to the edge and instantly killed me. I literally cannot use my backstep. That sucks. Like, that changes the fundamentals of how this class operates. Now, right, but that's the thing. That's where I basically was. And like, it's one of those things where if the ring was like 5 feet further, it would make sense. You know?
I hate to interrupt your stream,
hello?
my little flower.
Yep,
But there's a customer issue out front.
Okay, can you delay them for a couple of minutes? I'll be with you in a minute.
Just
little
the
thing?
former.
Little thing? Okay. Alright, little thing. Okay. Yeah, delay them a couple of minutes. I'll be with you as soon as I can. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so I do have a certain number of allowed resets that can happen here. Okay, so Magos' Radiance is the one that's going to hit the whole zone. What? Oh, beans. Yeah, we're trying. Oh. Oof. Okay, well, there went my second down.
Or fly, my children, and never look back.
Oof. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, well, I guess she's allowed to be the one who does this. Yeah, she does. It's fine. Honestly, wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing there. Glad I lucked into it. Ow. Ow. Fuck. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna hold. We're gonna go ahead and go do our break. Alright, yeah. Be back in just a few minutes, folks. Oh. let's try and take care of this gorgeous lady one more time. Will, yes. Body, maybe not, apparently.
Hold still.
A change of arms. May the test continue.
I will not hold back.
We're near or far.
Now.
Hold still.
And now this.
Make ready.
Light unyielding.
I can go in. I'm just not allowed to jump out. Ow.
My blade.
Together we shall overcome this.
Light unyielding.
Ow.
Make ready.
My blade.
I mean, if nothing else, this fight has been a great reminder of the fact that as a caster, I really shouldn't be spending too much time super duper close to stuff.
The song of creation's end. Feel.
Make ready.
The sorrow of hope's demise.
Oh, that was me.
Find your way in the darkness. Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look.
Hey, healers, you gonna... Thank you.
When you are resolved, we come. This test is far from over. By crystal light, let's give them a show.
We've got her at 60%, I guess. Well, we got her past the 50%. Ow. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, well, there was my first down. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. Breaking out that dancer ult. Oh, shit. Fuck. Here was my second down. Why is it piss? Why is it piss? Nope, get away from her. Ow. Shit! Oh, Alpino, why? Oh, for fuck's sake. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. She better not have a second phase.
At last, man has the strength to...
Yeah, breathe harder, Alpha now. Not to, like, at the NPC, but, like, goodness gracious. How you doing, Heidelin? Yes, please. Let's be done. As much as I love that fight, that was a gorgeous fight, well planned, also playing with NPCs is rough.
No, this can't be happening.
What did you think was going to happen, LIC? It's a Square Enix game. Of course we killed God.
Though my power is in constant flux, I have always kept a reserve for this very moment. It was a true test of your prowess. You have done well.
There is one thing I must ask. By sundering the world into 14 shards, the ether of all living beings too was divided. This reduction would in theory allow us to more easily interact with Dynamis.
Would it?
Having seen mankind brought to the very precipice of extinction, you wished for us to develop a means to overcome despair. You believed we had the potential and sundered all creation to see it fulfilled, to deliver us to that swirling maelstrom of Dynamis in which our foe hides, and grant us the power to defeat her once and for all. Is this not true?
It is as thou sayest. 'Twas the trial to which I subjected mankind, and it hath led to untold bloodshed and suffering. There was no kindness, nor justice in the tragedy I wrought. When confronted with the almighty Zodiac, my only recourse was rend him and the world asunder, that his power be diminished for a time. And so it came to pass. Now you, my chosen, have surpassed my expectations, surpassed me. I entrust the fate of the universe unto you. This crystal contains the memory of Meteion's passage through the stars. Deliver it unto the Loporrits. They will guide you to her.
Though they may be capable of crossing great distances, there is a vast difference between traveling to the moon and the furthermost reaches of the great expanse. And unlike Meteion, we cannot simply soar on waves of Dynamis to our destination.
Indeed. To make such a journey would require an astronomical amount of ether. But a solution lieth close at hand.
Of course.
Yes, my child.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how I scraped through it.
Ever since I became the will of the star, the ether drawn here had slowly crystallized. They who have answered my call know it well. While I have remained hidden, it hath become faceless, omnipotent force of nature. The Mother Crystal, our final hope. Alas, I can do no more. The fulfillment of this task doth fall to you, my chosen. Now, heed these words. Darkness and light, despair and hope. As goeth one, so goeth the other. Become light, become hope.
Thank you.
I have a gift for thee. Come closer. Long have I searched for a means to safeguard the future of this star. Though I knew failure after failure, by recalling thy tales and my promise to thee, I found the strength to carry on. Though the world is ever changing, thy thirst for adventure hath never waned. Thine unshakable resolve never ceases to amaze, to inspire. As a mark of my gratitude, I bestow this final gift. Thou dost possess the crystal of Azum, yes? As Heidelin, I reside over the forces of stasis, tranquility, peace. The laws which impart stability to existence itself. I will weave this self-same power into the crystal, granting thee mastery over matter, to give form to the formless. Use it wisely, for it will not last indefinitely. As thou hast seen on thy journey through the ethereal sea, souls are drawn to thee. Mayhap this trait will prove to be a boon rather than a hindrance. It is thy hopes and prayers that enable Azum's invocations and give them life. So keep them close. But pray, remember this. When the way forward is hidden, even from the mind's eye, look not to the invocation, but within yourself. These were the words of the crystal's original bearer. With that, my work is finished. Fulfill our promise. Right the wrongs committed when the world was yet whole. Silence the song of oblivion. Teach her a brighter melody. Show her our journey is far from over.
Find our way, Vina.
Of this, I have no doubt.
Right? I really want to see her original design artwork. I'm gonna have to go and look that up after the end of the stream, because I am absolutely certain it's gorgeous. Well, we're back. A lot happened. Glad to see you well. Though we could roughly place your souls deep as you went, we could neither see nor hear you. Fluctuations in your ether near the end gave me quite a fright. What in the world happened? Well, we beat God in a fight, and now I have the power that she held in a little crystal. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. You mean to say Heidelin is... No, there's no time to feel our feelings. We must carry out Heidelin's will without delay. We'll find Median if it's the last thing we do. I did get the soul stone. If you wouldn't mind handing over the crystal, that is. Fancy navigatory one. You're kind of God now. I mean, for a little while. For a little while. I do wish they made commemorative soul stones. To the edge of the universe where congregates the despair of countless stars. You are determined to see this through? We are. Should words fail us, we will fight to the bitter end. We know that it pains you to accept this. Would that I need ask nothing more of you. Yet we have only two means to travel the great expanse, the moon and Charlene's Ark. All too aware that without both of them, there will be no exodus, I nevertheless beg you to honor the agreement we made. The forum's decision will be honored. Earned the right to use the ship as you see fit. Not rescind it, even if I wanted to. As it happens, I do not. I would do all within my power to aid your cause. I don't think there are any official Square Enix soul stones, but there are so many stores on Etsy that make and sell them. Yeah, I've seen a few of them. We'll talk more about that in a second. Proving oneself to Heidelin is never easy, and despite our unparalleled genius, you'll need a day to make the unnecessary calculations. You may as well take advantage of it. Well, you can chart a course through the Sea of Stars in a single day? Ye gods! Shall we head above ground for some fresh air then? And perhaps a nap? But yeah, no, there's a couple that I have my eye on. I just haven't, nothing is 100% clicked for me yet. Hop into walls. I've been expecting you. Heard about your foray into the ethereal sea. The students have ventured far and wide, but never quite so deep as that. Are you experiencing any after effects from your prolonged exposure? Nausea? Dizziness? Hauntings? Well, have a pleasant sleep, and if you do experience any unusual phenomena, please let me know. I shall add it to our records. Pop, crunch, crack. Oh, stretch. Mm. Mm.
There you are. Some time, indeed, yes. For you, at least. Believe me, I'd meant to get some proper sleep. But here we are, drifting along instead. Well, well, you too. And so we remain, to watch and wonder. Yes, indeed. To begin, we first must see the end.
Then, I trust you had a good rest? An envoy of Master Fortuno's arrived not too long ago. With a message. The Loperids have determined Medion's location. We've been asked to gather in the rostra. I'll meet you there along with the others. Right. That feels like a good place for us to end for the day, honestly. I could push my luck, but I don't... You know what I mean? Like, it just... This feels right. This feels right. So let's head back on over to the Just Chatting screen, and we'll, I don't know, talk about this a little bit and then head on out. Whew. Well, a lot has happened. Excuse me. Oh, I inhaled a piece of dust, I think. Goodness gracious, that was so much. I know I got a little bit weepy at least twice, if not 3 times in that entire stream. It is beautiful to see everyone's stories come full circle. We're not wrapping up. We're not leaving these people behind. I know that, but it's nice to see them get some closure on some big things, you know? And up to and including Vana herself. So I wanted to say thank you very much for stopping by, Weary Travelers. We're probably going to finish the main content of Endwalker next time. At least if I can keep a decent pace, as it were, next Friday. We'll see. I'll see if I can manage to do it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's Final Fantasy XIV stream. And I wanted to let you know that I'll be back tomorrow, Saturday, May 24th, for more martial arts action and drama in Wandering Sword. It's going from this to that. Oh, big stuff happening in both. I'm just going to be an emotional wreck on, you know, by the end of tomorrow's stream. It's going to be fine. But until then, for more information about future streams, keep an eye on our Blue Sky at Come and Go Tavern for announcements and daily check-ins from the Come and Go. I've been your hostess, Sheela Ornthalis. Need to prop your feet up for a little while longer. We've got some more entertainment coming up soon via a raid. So let's take a look at the menu and see who is online right now. Once again, none of my close people are online, so I guess I'm just gonna send you off into the ether, folks. Yeah, it's been a weird last couple of weeks. We haven't really had time for people online to raid, at least not properly. And I know, the worst part is I know that someone's gonna jump on like right at 4 o'clock or maybe like 5 minutes before, or like, you know, I'm gonna hit the end stream button and then there we go. But in any case, once again, thank you very much for being with me. I'm so excited to see how this story comes to a close next time. Ta-ta for now. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Mwah. Bye. 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 Bye.